this is Minority Health Month. I think it's critical because we all know that we've stated that gun violence is a public health crisis. We had healthy discussion this evening about housing, and we know that stems from some of the creates health issues as well. So it's my hope that with us declaring this Minority Health Month, which is April always is, as well as it's Financial Literacy Month, two critical things. With us declaring racism a public health crisis and the county a public health crisis, if it's sometime before this month is out, we could talk to see what is our strategy. What is our strategy to address these issues? It has to be comprehensive. I'd love to share some of the information that this body has made possible for me to learn. I know Councilwoman Amovian, I know Councilwoman Samples has been exposed to some, but this is critical that we have a plan. I mean, I think we're almost at 20 murders so far this year, and we haven't had a discussion. This is not an indictment. This goes back to what I said, because we've got to look at our process and our structure and how we come to address issues as a council. I think there's some systemic things that are in the way we've done business that have crippled us from being more proactive. But this is serious. And I got a call today, and it was also on NPR about the trauma that our people in our community are suffering from because of the gun violence. So it's just my hope that, with us declaring it, the county declaring it, that we talk about how we're going to use our resources to address this. And it's not just the resources that are coming from the American Rescue Plan dollars, because I want to share with council. My concern is all those dollars are coming to deal with the effects, not the cause. The effects of the structural and institutional problems that we have are gun violence, are health disparities, are housing disparities. We've got to truly address this. This is more serious than the police issue, because the police issue deals with some of the outcomes of this. So it's just my hope that before we get through this month, we plan to meet with our colleagues on council, as well as ourselves. We've got these different committees. We need to have a strategic plan to address this, because as we all know, summer is coming and it's going to get hot. And I'm not talking about the weather.
Thank you, Councilman Neal. That concludes our new legislation. We'll now move to the portion of our meeting that we refer to as our public comment period, and our clerk will play messages received.
My name is Michael, and I'm watching a video that was filmed very recently with a firefighter from the Akron Fire Department, Engine 6, spray somebody in the public who was on the sidewalk. It looks like he sprayed him simply because he was a journalist. It didn't appear that the journalist was doing anything aggressive or untoward or anything to disturb whatever it is that the firefighters seemed to be doing. They were spraying down a sidewalk, it looked like, or a driveway of something for whatever reason. But to have a bystander there and they sprayed him down, even if the bystander, the person who was filming, the journalist, even if that journalist was misbehaving, spraying him with the fire hose is not how that's dealt with. But like I said, it didn't appear that there was any misconduct at all on behalf of the journalist. So I guess that I'm wondering what can be done, and how further training can be adopted into your department's policy about journalists and about people filming in public. Even if this guy is not a journalist and he's just a bystander with a cell phone, it makes no difference. We have the right to film in public. We have the right to film public employees doing their work. We have the right to film and video anything that we can see with our eyes, as long as we are in a public area. And I didn't see any harm at all. I'm really appalled that the sense of entitlement that firefighter had to feel that he could spray somebody down, and the others that are around it. It appears that there's 2 other firefighters there. If one of them was a supervisor or a truck captain or something like that, should have dealt with that immediately, including a very aggressive apology to the bystander, and dealing with that, and stopping that firefighter from doing that. So I'm hoping that this action is taken seriously. I'm sure that you can find this on this video on YouTube. And anyway, yeah, disturbing to see. Thank you for hearing me out, and like I said, I hope there's some resolution.
Hello, my name is André from Vermont. I want to say that hosing someone with a water cannon is a criminal act, period. It is assault with a weapon, simple assault with a weapon. Thank you, and I hope you act accordingly and fire that guy. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Teresa Williams. Calling back, you guys didn't get to hear the rest of my statement. When there was a total that he said it was 15 cops right there on him, Caucasian cops. 3 to 5 of them was stumping him, kicking him, punching him, and there was one that's on the witness statement. It states that one of the Caucasian officers had his knee on my son's throat, the identical way of George Floyd. The witness got the officer off of my son, and he didn't get arrested, the witness. That is because they know they were wrong. My son had the cuts on his face. We're dark skinned. My son's face is swollen, 2 black eyes, cuts, meat gone, skin gone, and his whole entire face was the color of green, red, and blue. And that means bruising. And when I called the Summit County Jail to check on him, they said he had a lump in his back. And that was told to me by a sheriff. So my main thing is we want the video cameras. We want the dash cam and the body cams. Because, again, they were on until the cop told them that was beating my son, man, your body cams. So we have to get this together. And when I say we, I mean all of us. I would like for you guys to see the body cam and dash cams, and I would like to see the body cams and dash cams. I would appreciate that deeply. This is not right, and it got to stop. It must stop. Thank you. There was one more thing. I think I did say it when you guys listened yesterday when they had him alone and said they should have shot him. Let's all look at the dash cams and body cams together. How about that? Thank you.
Hi, you're a firefighter that sprayed a citizen. I don't want the guy to get fired or anything like that, but that's ridiculous. That citizen pays his salary, and for him to have that little bit of respect for citizens is outrageous. He should be fired, but unless he changes his attitude, I think you all should make sure that happens. Thanks, bye.
John Wesley Sharp, attorney and counselor at law, 730 Callis Drive, Suite 1201, Akron, Ohio, 44311. 330-773-4586. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Chosen people, brothers and sisters, we are God's chosen people. We are the most systematically oppressed people in the new world. Oppressed in politics with the rolling back of our voting rights. Oppressed in criminal justice. Oppressed in housing. Oppressed in employment. Oppressed in education. Oppressed in banking. Oppressed in healthcare. Oppressed in armed forces. Oppressed in news. Oppressed in entertainment. And oppressed in sports. We are oppressed in every area of modern life. What is your proof, you say? Where are your statistics, you say? Look it up, I say. We are oppressed because of their fear. We are afraid. Fear of our potential for moral authority and leadership. Brothers and sisters, you have the blood of kings and queens running through your veins. Brothers and sisters, you have the blood of kings and queens pulsing through your veins. Brothers and sisters, because of our oppression, pain, and suffering, God will set us on high. And then, He shall make us to lie down in green pastures and lead us beside the still water.
This is Jody Grassgreed, 699 Weber Avenue, Akron. Do you know what a carbon trap is? I didn't. Just like when it first started making headlines, I didn't know what the fracturing process of removing gas from the ground was, now commonly known as fracking. I had to read up on it. Remember, you stopped the administration from fracking at Ladue, who already harvested large trees at the same site. So what is a carbon trap? It's just as important a term to know as fracking. Trees are carbon sponges. Over the course of 25 years, a single maple tree can sequester or remove about 400 pounds of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide in our atmosphere is why we are experiencing climate change. One reason that the Cuyahoga River and the valley are getting 7 inches more in rain than it did in the 1960s. One reason why Akron Peninsula Road is closed, erosion. Tice Woods, while not just tree covered, plays an important role in sucking up carbon dioxide since it has lots of trees and is the size of 33 football fields. That is why so many residents urge the city to choose conservation over development at Tice Woods. Preserving green space is a real way to address climate change by trapping carbon. You just hired a consultant at the price of $100,000. Doug Farr's philosophy is centered on the notion that the world needs to change, and we are the ones to initiate it. Change should start with the end in mind, and that end is carbon neutrality. You need carbon traps to help get to carbon neutrality, among other changes. FAR goes on to ask, how can we get there? By working together, by holding ourselves accountable, by modifying our habits, shifting the industry, and ultimately redefining our conception of beauty to include health, happiness, and equity. You have hired Mr. Farr for $100,000. You have the ability to grow Akron differently and lead us down a better path. Seize the moment while we still have time. Conserve Tice Woods for all the right reasons. Grow in Akron, not out of Akron. For more information, please see the Tice Woods brief sent to you by Preserve the Valley. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Bill McCourt. I live at 800 Hardy Road. I respectfully request the Akron City Council to support the conservation of Tice Woods. Tice Woods is forested. It helps